Greetings and salutations. My name is Joaquim Gabriel Patricio and this is Abstractus Ritus, a virtual exhibition that was organized especially for Breeze Online Gallery. Before anything, I'd like to express my gratitude to my friend Veronique Quack, who introduced me to Breeze Canyon and opened this door for me, and of course to Breeze, who have also put faith into my creations and provide me this opportunity. We are now going to take a brief tour around the gallery. The first piece that we can get to see is called Over the Falls. Right after the entrance door, there's Aegis Shards, followed by Jade Elephant, and also by Under the Surface. Next to it, there's Tribal Council and Winter Lane, which is the last one of this wall. On the other one, there's Beyond the Valley, followed by Sand Memories and IP. Moving on to the next panel, there's Petal Burst, Gateway of Realms, and to complete the cycle, there's Chrysalis. I'd like to point out that I really like the design that Breeze gave to the gallery, with the efficient layout, the green walls and everything. Thanks a lot and great work, man. Now that we are through with the overview, we'll be looking at some specific works where I'm gonna have the opportunity of commenting about them and also exploring certain details of their development process. As for their interpretation, I will express my personal point of view, but if possible, I'd really love to know yours as well. The first one we're going to look at is called Aegis Shards. This one took me a while to complete because every time when I look at it, I'd feel that it was still incomplete, still lacking something that I simply cannot define what. Either way, after a few attempts, I was finally satisfied with the result. Now, why does it have such a title? Well, I already had the shards part in mind, but I thought it was a really generic title. So while I was still thinking about it, I've moved back my chair for a moment, and when I looked at the artwork from there, I could see something that resembles some kind of bust, which immediately made me think of an Aegis. The next submission that we are about to see is called Jade Elephant. While there are certain creations which require a fair amount of time and lots of thinking about which techniques or combinations that you could get to use, there are also those rare moments where you can get to create something that can exceed your expectations in a really curious way. For me, that was the case for this specific work. I'd say that the whole process was much easier and simple if compared to the other ones, but still, I really like the outcome. As for the title, I have chosen Jade because of the cyan tones that can be found around most of the screen. As for the elephant, it was because it really seems like the head of this animal, I mean, at least for me. For instance, I can get to see an eye, a nose, a tusk, and maybe a pair of ears. Oh well. There are also the red lines, and the ambience makes me think that it's located inside of a cave. Maybe some ruins that are just there waiting for someone to find them in the future. By the way, what's your favorite art style? What I really like about the abstract segment is that each viewer can have a unique opinion about any work, which is something that I genuinely find amusing. Moving on, we can get to see this one called Under the Surface. This is another one that made me scratch my head many times because I wasn't exactly sure if the result was fine or not, or how I should properly name it. This one combines many different tones and colors. Even though I really like to blend them as much as possible, I think that too much chaos can make things really tricky. For instance, the first time I've seen this one, I imagined some parrots were flying around. Then I imagined that this could refer to the Caribbean islands, not only because of the tropical colors, but also because of the blue background, which makes me think of the sea. Eventually, I have ended up with this impression that you're looking to some kind of water surface, managing to see what kind of diversity is hidden below. The next part of the tour will cover another wall which has Sand Memories on it. I'd say that this one turned out to be quite unique to me because I believe it is the only frame of the exhibition which doesn't have any green on it. I'd say that the creation process for it went fairly well. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't need to revisit. The title was given after I've seen what it seemed to be a woman with her eyes shut, as if she was remembering something or someone very special to her. The color tones made me think of a sandstorm, and as for the red tones, I thought that it could be some sort of a flower or seal. Ah, the circular shape seems like dunes to me. Well, we are almost done by now. So, what do you think of the exhibition so far? For me, it was certainly a pleasure to create each one of those works. I feel really honored to have them displayed here in Breeze Online Gallery, where many other talented artists also had this chance before. Okay, so there's one last work that we're going to examine before the cycle is over. This one is called Chrysalis. This was a really hard one to complete, especially because I couldn't find the right colors to balance out the design. Because of that, I had to work on it on a few different occasions before I could get to finish it. As for the interpretation of the piece, what I have imagined was a caterpillar patiently waiting until eventually becomes a butterfly. There are also some lines all around the screen, which made me imagine that it was some sort of a web, maybe the different layers that you could find inside. Overall, the tones reminds me of nature. One interesting point of view that I heard from a friend of mine was that it seemed like peacock feathers. There's also a curious thing about the submission. I have actually seen a chrysalis just a few days before I started working on it, so my subconscious might have helped me out. This concludes the tour around the gallery. I hope that you have enjoyed the experience, and if you'd like to share your opinions about any specific work or anything else about the exhibition, please let me know about it in the comments. By the way, the actual exhibition will be available until May 23, 2018, so if you could get to visit, I'd be really happy to know about it. Besides, if you're also an artist, please consider the possibility of making your own exhibition here in Breeze Online Gallery, so me and so many others could get a chance to appreciate your talent. Overall, thank you very much for your time and attention. Wish that you're having a great time in your life. Good vibes all the way.